Hi, I'm Bill.
And I'm DeAnna. And this is Scout.
And in our Airstream, we're living the silver life.
Come join us in our adventures.
He's sharing a seatbelt with me.
Yeah, if you just have your paperwork in order, you know, your dog's vaccination record, your passport, answer his questions, be polite, don't make any jokes, you're in good shape.
Take your sunglasses off.
Yeah, take your sunglasses off. Sometimes they want you to roll down the back windows. He didn't ask us to. I have a diesel pickup, I turn the engine off because it makes it easier to talk, and I try to talk over the sound of a diesel engine. But other than that,
don't let the border crossing scare you.
No, they're very nice, and the people are very helpful and friendly.
I've thoroughly enjoyed Skagway. It's a beautiful city, and it has a population ordinarily of about only 1,500 people, but that population explodes or can explode to up to 10,000 people depending on how many cruise ships have made port during the day, and they run through October.
I do a whole lot more than just post pictures.
Get your tickets for the Days of 98 show with Sophie Smith. It's all starting in just 15 minutes, folks.
Oh, you're here.
The visitor center is completely covered in driftwood. I love the Skagway, Alaska streetcar tours, along with their drivers who dress up in costumes for the time periods.
There are so many cruise ships that come in and out of this harbor. Okay, an exciting story here in Skagway. It's got everybody talking. Jessy, she went missing on June 13th. She was spooked by a train when her and her owners were hiking up here past the campground. The train whistle blew, she took off. And now the owner spent weeks and weeks looking for her and everything, and everybody in Skagway was looking for her. And she was sighted several times, but she wouldn't come to people. So finally the owners had to leave, and they knew that the people in Skagway would keep looking for Jessy. And sure enough, yesterday she ironically walked up to the train station and was very emaciated, but they got a vet in. They've called the owners in from Alberta, who've been back a couple of times since this all happened looking for her, and they are ecstatic. So they're coming in to get their Jessy. Only 3 cruise ships today.
Yep, and that second one is bigger than the first one.
It sure.
We're in the Slide Cemetery just outside the old town site of Dyea, which was a gold rush town for the Klondike. It was a separate one from Skagway. And on April 3rd, 1898, up near the pass, there was an avalanche that killed over 70 people, the Stampeders, heading to the Klondike. And they brought them back into this town, and they built a separate cemetery for them. They have since moved some people, like in 1979, I believe, from the original town cemetery up here, because that part of the town, which is, basically gone, that old cemetery is getting washed away by the river that flows down towards the inlet. But it's really interesting. So if you're in the Skagway area, it's worth driving up to the old town site of Dyea. The road's not bad. It's gravel and dirt, but it's pretty smooth. And come hike around and visit a few of these places.
It's so eerie.
I wonder if they really even know
You'll
where
just love
everybody
it.
is buried.
And what do you think?
That's gorgeous. We're actually standing in what would have been the old downtown area and streets. I think this trail, if we looked at the map, may have been what was Main Street. So as you can see behind us, it's just all overgrown now and stuff. But this was a thriving town in 1898. It only lasted several years as a freighting town, and a lot of it ended up moving to Skagway. A lot of it is it's grown over in the trees.
It says in the milepost that when you get to this part, the meadow opens up, and now instead of people living here, it's home to lupin and fireweed. Now this fireweed's going to seed, and all other kinds of meadow flowers.
Okay, we're in what I'd call the southwest corner of the old Dyea town site, and there was a warehouse here owned by the Vinning and Wilkes Company, and what's remained are some old lumber here on the ground and stuff. But they would, all the freight would be offloaded, and they'd put it in the warehouse. And if they were shipping for the Stampeders or the people heading to the Klondike, and they'd all crowd in their office and want their stuff right then. And so everybody was in a big hurry to get up to the Klondike.
Hey guys, this is a woolly bear caterpillar, and he makes into a tiger moth. But the cool thing about it is that they say up in the mountains, the legend is that kind of folklore, is you can tell what kind of winter you're going to have. If it has more black than orange, which this one seems to be, then you're going to have a harsh winter.
Put it back up.
The Carcross Desert may look like the smallest desert in the world, but it's actually the remains of an ancient lake that was here about 10,000 years ago. All the sand and silt that was left behind from it.
We're heading south, so we will be back in Canada in about 30 miles.
That's right.
So we wanted to do a quick update. We're kind of sad leaving Alaska. Today's August 28th. We arrived on July 23rd. So
we've been here about
5 weeks.
Yeah.
We just wanted to give a couple of our own first impressions real quick. Mine was really enjoyed the salmon fishing trip out of Soldotna. That was great. And the camping. We've had all kinds, everything from Forest Service to full hookups to stuff. Luckily, the best thing is that we can go dry camp for several days, so it was been nice. It really opened up where we could camp. What's your impression?
The weather has been absolutely amazing. Thoroughly enjoyed August. The locals say that normally it's raining. We haven't had a lot of rain. We've had smoke haze, we've had fog, and we've had a couple of days of rain, but nothing horrible. And the scenery, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous scenery, from the trees to the mountains to the rivers. Been a little bit disappointed in the amount of wildlife. I would have thought there would have been more bear, caribou, eagles and stuff, a moose, but we've seen a few things, but not as much as we did in Canada, actually.
So we've had a great time here in Alaska. Kind of hate to be leaving. It's been so gorgeous and stuff, but we definitely are coming back. So we'll talk to y'all later. To stop my arm. Okay, we're gonna have to make it shorter.
If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up and join our Nomad family by hitting the subscribe button. We would sure love to have you join us on the road.